Yep. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we learnt about some events, some examples we discussed using events. So mouse events example, keyboard events examples we learned. Have you tried them? Huh? So we have a mouse and a keyboard events. And after understanding these mouse and keyboard events, don't open your applications in browser. Run through npm start or use any another browser if you have any issues. Right. Use npm start. Don't use Chrome browser to run the projects. Okay, let's see. Here we are using mouse events and keyboard events. And yesterday we discussed these differences also. So when to use key up, key down, mouse events, mouse over, mouse down examples. Now today we will see some more different events here. We have a button events available. Button events are there. After understanding this mouse, we have button events. So these two already you know, list no need to give. On mouse over, mouse out, on mouse down, on mouse up, and on mouse move we have used. Keyboard events on key up, on key down, and on key press. So this is marked for deprecated. So means it's not recommended for future versions. It will work current you can use. In future it's not recommended to use. Button events usually we have on click, on double click, and on context menu. These are button events. Button events we are having on click, on double click, and on context menu. These are button related events usually you use in JavaScript. So already you know them in JavaScript also. What are those? So click event you are already using. Actually in your JavaScript, double click is present as DBL click. In JavaScript it is DBL click. Here in React we have to use as double click. Context menu means right click. Context menu indicates right click. Right click is context menu. Context menu is when user right clicks, you can define any action. That is what context menu is. So you can control actions on single click, double click, and on context menu. These are the options. For example, see, on click already we learned, no need to explain that. So on click, you know the event. Let's see another example here. So here on click actions, I will add one more component. That is a folder. Yeah. Button demo. And let's add a component button demo.jsx. So here we are having button demo is the component. And in this button demo, we have a simple click event. Already we know. I'll just keep one image. Image source is what images we have. Some images are there. iPhone, green, something. Okay. Green.jpg. So width is 100. Just 100 I will give. Height also 100. And we have a simple message. Double click to view large. Something. We'll keep this in the startup. So in the startup we have button demo. And this is the image we are having. Okay. Now what we want is when user double clicks on it, it should open full screen. That means it should open in a separate window. Generally in JavaScript, you have double click as on DBL click. Here it is a synthetic event. In synthetic event, we have to write completely. So we are writing here function handle double click, and on that it should open the same photo full screen. Then you have JavaScript window.open method. In JavaScript window.open can open any file in a separate window. Which file? iPhone green.jpg. And it needs a title. So whenever a window opens, a window requires a title. Title is suppose some iPhone. And it needs features. Features like width and height, how much for the window. So width is some 300, height is some 400 we defined. Now this function should fire up when user double clicks on the image. So we have to use on double click. On double click, handle double click. That is the event. So JavaScript have DBL click. Here we have to use as complete word double click we have to use. Now what happens when anyone double clicks on this photo, then it will open that in a full screen. Means in a separate window it opens. Generally you see advertisements and all. Usually when user opens any page, automatically some advertisements pop up. You can write on use effect also. Use effect means at the time of mounting, automatically it can show these pop-ups. Now I just used on a double click. When user double clicks, it opens that image in a separate window. For that we have to use JavaScript window.open method. Which file to open, what is its title, and how much width and height. And this is on double click. So single click is on click. Double click means when you double click on the element. Context menu means right click. In interviews, this is one popular question. Even in JavaScript you learned. If anyone asks in JavaScript how you disable right click in a page, it is a common thing in websites. Suppose a banking website or some highly secured websites, they don't allow right click in their website. right? Because right click allows to copy or cut some content. They don't allow right click. So it's a very popular and very general requirement, how to disable right click in any page. How to disable right click in a web page is almost common security thing. The same we have to implement here. In JavaScript, what you learned, any event we can disable by returning false. If any event function returns false, that event will not fire up. We can block any event by using return as what? False. In JavaScript, any event if you want to disable, for that event you have to write a function that returns false. Then that event will not work. So how do we disable right click? Right click actually context menu. And React is currently dealing with virtual DOM. Right click belongs to actual DOM. Virtual DOM don't have a right click. So it has to block right click in the actual DOM. So what you have to do is, when user right clicks, suppose I will keep a heading here. Heading is nothing but anywhere. So, okay, we'll keep a heading here. In the heading, it is nothing but we will say that right click not allowed. So right click not allowed. So that's heading I am giving. But as of now, right click is working. When I right click anywhere, it is working. There is no problem, but we should not make it happen. Then in the body area, what you have to do is we need to write one function. This function is handle context menu. Context menu means right click. On context menu, it has to disable right click on actual DOM, because virtual DOM don't have right click. Actual DOM right click it has to disable. So actual DOM right click, how you can access is document is the DOM. Document dot on context menu. On context menu. On context menu is right click is equal to function. We need to use a function. This function should return false. Any function in JavaScript, if it returns false, that function is blocked. It is not allowed to execute. If anybody asked in JavaScript how to disable copy, how to disable cut, how to disable clicks, double clicks, any event, just write a function that returns false. And automatically that event is blocked. It will not work. So here, before that, what we will do, before returning false, we will put an alert saying this right click disabled on this page. That's what message we are giving. Right click disabled on this page. And we have to write here what is the event on context menu. On context menu, handle context menu. Now context menu function has disabled right click in your document. So see, whenever I try to right click anywhere in the page, it will say right click disabled. It will not open right click. That means right clicks are disabled on this page, you cannot use. Suppose I selected something. After that I want to copy. Then means through right click I want to do some actions. I'm clicking right click. Right click is not allowed. It's not working. Any event we can disable just by using this technique. So what we have to do, return as false. Return as false. So that is one popular requirement. Generally we use this regularly. So that is context menu. So here one simple note, some questions like the frequently asked question is how to disable right click in page. You can disable any JavaScript event by using a function that returns false. Actually, in your JavaScript, in the body on context menu, you can simply return false. That will stop automatically. That is in your JavaScript. In your JavaScript, directly you can write this. Automatically, context menu will be blocked. Right click will not be allowed. In JavaScript, directly we write like that. So here, another option is, now here what we are doing, so we can configure in another way. Document on context menu uses a function, and this function return false. Your JavaScript questions you keep with yourself only, because I'm not interested in answering your JavaScript questions here, right? I'm still wasting my time 3-4 days extra in teaching you all JavaScript concepts. So JavaScript, you have your problem. So don't ask me in JavaScript how to do this, how to do that. That's your JavaScript. In React, only the concepts we are learning. And in React, I am just again giving overview of some JavaScript concepts because you may not have some idea on them. So rest of things, your problems. I don't care. Why? Because I am not interested in your JavaScript question answers. You have to learn in your JavaScript only, right? So already we are wasting some time of React in discussing some JavaScript concepts here. Actually, these all JavaScript people know, right? Here we just need to tell in React what is the event handler, right? So that's the reason don't go into JavaScript questions here, right? So you have to learn by yourself. You in your JavaScript only you will learn them. So in React, what we are going to do, that we will see, right? Yeah. So here, these all things are JavaScript events. Same example we are replicating. So button events, one example I will copy. This is example of buttons. Okay. Now next important is in events category, we have element state events. We have element state events. Element have some state, element state related some events. What are element state events you learned in JavaScript? Element have different states, like disabled is a state, read only is a state, checked is a state, selected is a state. These are element states. You learned text box. Text box have different states, like text box is enabled, text box is disabled, text box is focus, text box is blurred, right? You click in the text box, then it is called focus. You click outside the text box, then it is called blur. These are states. These are states. Usually element state events in JavaScript, you have on change is one event. On focus is another event. On blur is another event. On change, on focus, on blur. These are general element state events. On change means we already learned it is the primary event for two-way binding. All the two-way binding is handled by using only one event, that is on change. On change means it indicates what actions to perform when value is changing. When value is changing in an element, you want any action to perform, that you have to do by using on change. On focus means when user clicks inside the text box, that is focus. element focus. Click outside, then we call it as what? On blur. On blur. So we have different events here. So on change, on focus, on blur are important state events. Generally where you use them, let's see example here. So I will remove this part. Okay. Some I am here using, this is not required. Yeah. I'm using a simple data list, data term, some username and a data definition. So input type is text. Now what should happen is when user clicks inside the text box, suppose we have some register. Yeah. So when user clicks inside the text box to type something, that is focus. We call this as focus. After finish typing, when user clicks outside or he goes to another element, that is called blur. We call it as blur. These are two basic states of element. So usually if I want to show some tips, that suppose user clicks username, I want to show him some tip saying that username must have one uppercase letter, something. So then what we do here, we will write a constant, some tip, set tip, and use state. It is a string. I want to show the tip below. Here I want to display the tip. And that depends on text box. So we will put here function handle focus. Okay. And we have another function handle what? Blur. Blur. On focus, what we will do? Set tip. We will put a message. Message is nothing but name in block letters. Means all capital letters. And the set tip on blur, I will keep the tip as empty. Don't show anything. Now what should happen here? So on blur, what it has to do? Handle blur. On focus, what it has to do? Handle focus. Those are blur and focus events. So when user clicks inside this text box to type something, then it is focus, it shows the message. You click outside, then it is blur, it will hide. That means that usually you see these in forms. Remember, still we haven't learned about forms. Forms is a separate concept. Designing forms, validation in the forms, it's a separate topic. We are learning only event. On blur, on focus, what to do. Now, I'm just showing message. We can do lot of actions like, suppose when user clicks on this, it shows block letters. Suppose user entered something. After that, he click outside. Then we should convert that into capital letters. He is not writing capital letters, but we will convert. You see this in websites regularly. Suppose bank asks IFSC code. And when you type IFSC code, automatically it is converted to caps. In many application forms online, they ask you to enter everything in capital letters. You are not entering capital letters, it's okay. They convert them into capital letters. After you finish typing, they convert that into capital. Now tell me the logic how to do this. That means on blur, whatever value they entered, it must be converted into capital letter and show in the same text box. In the same text box, it should display that in capital letters. That means what we have to do is, suppose first we need to collect the name. What name they are entering, we need to collect the name. How to collect the name? So constant, what is it? Username, set username is equal to what? Use state, it is a string. And how to collect the username? We have to create a function, handle what is it? Change. Handle change. So what we will do, set username. It will come from event argument. Set username e dot what? Target dot value. So we will collect it. So you see here, so on change, on change, handle change. Okay, it is going to collect the username. On blur, it should display that username. And you see here what we are doing is value. That means we need to set the value into that. What is the value? Value is what? Username. Username value you are setting. Okay. Next, what should happen? On blur, we have to set username. Already username is set. Whatever username is there, it is already set. What that username will come, whatever username you entered, it will come. But it should be displayed in which case? To uppercase. It should be displayed in uppercase. Still we have some points. What are those? Suppose I entered some name. After entering the name, I click outside. It will be uppercase. Some points are we can directly convert while typing. While typing itself, if you want to convert, what to do? We have to use key up. Key up event means immediately when user types the character, it will convert. So this is one simple logic. That means first you collect the username. After collecting the username, assign the username into the text box. Into the text box you have to assign. And this time what we are doing on blur, whatever username is in the text box, collect the same username, convert to which case? Uppercase, and store in the same username. That means first time when they enter username, in any case they may enter, collect it, convert that into uppercase and assign to same. That means collect the value from text box, assign the same value to same text box, but this time we are converting into uppercase. So that makes the simple concept here. You click inside, it says block letters. You entered something and it will display caps. You click inside, it shows. So you entered something, it will be upper. On focus and on blur. On focus indicates what action to perform when user clicks inside the element. So blur means when it loses the focus, right? These are general HTML, JavaScript events. Here we can implement in the same way. This is example for that. And one important note is there. What is it? React two-way binding. Two-way binding. Two-way binding is handled by using which event? On change. By using on change event. React two-way binding is handled by using on change event. So blur defines actions to perform when element lost focus. When element lost focus. Okay. So this is blur. Gets focus and blur. Actually, these are there in CSS also, na? In your HTML, CSS also have these classes. Blur, focus, like classes are there. So this is example. Because on change I showed you already in previous concept. This is example of all of them. That means we have on change, on blur, another one on focus. On change, we are collecting value from the text box. On focus, we are showing a tip. On blur, we are hiding the tip and converting everything into what? Uppercase. That's the. These are element state events and you can use in various places. Let's see another example. On change we can use for drop downs, sliders, text boxes, any element you want to collect the value from them, then you have to mention on change. Let's see another example. So this example also the same thing. Let's see, as I showed you yesterday, we will try to design this HDFC calculator. We have this HDFC calculator. HDFC Bank, it is having some loan calculator. This is the HDFC some loan calculator. This is some loan calculator. Let's see how to design this loan calculator. So in JavaScript, same type of examples you try. So usually you try in JavaScript same. Only the point is you already learned in JavaScript how to convert mathematical formulas into JavaScript formulas. Because what is the formula for calculating EMI? The business people have different business formulas. Those business formulas we have to convert into JavaScript. And those JavaScript formulas we have to implement. So what is the formula for calculating EMI? That means it is a EMI calculator for the amount of money you have taken in 5 years. If you have to pay them, how much every month you have to pay, we have to calculate. Generally, this is designed in React or Angular like technologies. So this is designed in React, Angular like technologies, but the logic for this is JavaScript only. JavaScript is the basic logic used for that. So how do you convert a mathematical formula into JavaScript understandable formula? Because actually EMI formula is this, EMI formula. So this is the EMI formula. To calculate EMI, this is the EMI formula. So this is the EMI formula. Let's open the full screen. Yeah, this is actually the formula for EMI. So the formula for EMI, okay. Yeah, this is the formula for EMI. P into R into 1 plus R to the power of N divided by 1 plus R to the power of N minus 1. So what you learned in JavaScript, you learned operators now. JavaScript operators, statements, functions. Those operators will teach you how to design a mathematical formula into a JavaScript understandable. Any mathematical scientific operations we have to convert into JavaScript. For that already JavaScript is having some math functions also. You have to use a combination of operators and functions. This is actually the formula for calculating EMI. This in JavaScript you have to convert and implement that. Let's see the example how to do this, how we can design this. First, I will copy this here. So first we will design the interface. we will create the interface of this calculator. Actually, in JavaScript, usually these kind of examples people already try. I will show you our JavaScript classes are there. So actually in our JavaScript, we designed these kind of examples already, formulas and all. Where is JavaScript? EMI. So in JavaScript already our people know how to design these kind of things. So because the same concept we have to implement here. Actually this is in JavaScript. This is in JavaScript. So you slide the values, you select the values and click on calculate, it will get the EMI and it will show. That is JavaScript, and JavaScript usually teaches you. Here you see how do you convert the formulas, mathematical formulas into JavaScript formulas. These are all JavaScript examples already we know. Let's see how to implement this in our React. Because here that teaches you how to manage various events. So see in this what should happen is when user is moving the slider, that number should come in the text box. When user is moving the slider, that number should come in the text box. And when user clicks calculate, it should get all those values, implement in a formula and show us the result. That's a basic example. It's a simple real world example of bank apps, how we can implement. Let's see how to do this. So first we will create a new component, EMI calculator. Okay. So EMI calculator .jsx. Okay, let's write here export function EMI calculator. Okay. And we will create a simple design of that EMI calculator. Container fluid and BG secondary. Okay. Now this EMI calculator I will keep in the startup. Okay. And let's create the design. It is currently, that is the EMI calculator. It is empty. I will give a style height as 100 VH. It is the background color we given for that. Background color for the body, the page body. Now inside this, let's add a div. Margin 4, padding 4. Okay. And in this div, we keep a heading something like personal loan EMI calculator. And for this we have BG light, text dark. Okay, here also everything is fine. Okay, class text center. Personal loan EMI calculator is defined with this. So it is above margin 4, padding 4. What else we given here? Some styles are already there. So this is having personal loan EMI calculator here. Okay. And this is having like a text white. Okay. that is given for the class. What is this? Is there some effect is working everywhere? Where height? Okay. So here I'll just design one interaction. This body have problem. Text dark. Let's remove this. I think somewhere CSS classes we are using, they are conflicting. Any CSS selectors we use now? Anywhere CSS classes, make sure that the same classes we are not using there, because they will conflict the appearance. Okay. Container fluid. Okay, and here we will design a simple heading. Personal loan EMI calculator. Okay, and let's keep the class text center. Okay, margin top, some gap, fine. Below this, we will add a div. Now in this, what we are doing is, this is actually class padding 4, margin also 4, okay. And in this, we will create a row, div, class row. In that 3 columns we need. Class call, this is 1 column, 2nd column and 3rd. In the first column, they have amount you need. And there is a text box. Input type as what? Text. Okay. For here we have input type again text. This is years. And this size is having some 2. Okay. Here interest rate. Interest rate. Input type is what? Text. And actually size here also 2. And percent. This is the first row they have. That is the first row they are having. In the first row, amount you need for how many years and what interest rate, that is shown. Actually, that is having a simple border 1, border dark, and actually it is having a border, just a box I am giving for that. Okay. Now this is actually the first row, and this row have MY2 or 4. That means some gap between the rows will increase. Okay, next, after this second row, we have another row, class as row, margin Y4. In this row also 3 columns are there. Div, class column. This is first column, second column and third. In every column there is a slider. How to create a slider? Input type range. You learned range. Range is a slider. Here it have minimum as here I will give a number. Minimum is, suppose I am giving like it starts with 10,000 or 1 lakh, and maximum is like 5 lakhs. That is the number we are using. Okay, that is the range, and value by default it is 1 lakh. That is okay. That is having a class called form range. That is the class. and you can see a slider will come below. And this slider, we need a div. Here we have a div. We have a span. So one span is saying like 1 lakh, and this is actually rupees ampersand hash 8377. That is actually currency symbol of Indian. And we have another span. This span is having like 5 lakh. Okay. These are the two values. This span should have a class float. Float which side? End. End means it will float right side. One left, another one is right. You know CSS float options, huh? Yeah. Next, in the next column, I will copy the same. Next column is having, next column is having same range, but minimum is 1, maximum is 5, value also 1. This is actually 1 to 5 years, 1 and 5 years. That is the 1 and 5. We are giving another slider. We need another slider here in the third column. In this slider, minimum is 10.45, maximum is 18.45, value is 10.45, and here 10.45%, that is, and end value is 18.45%. Okay, this is the interest rate we are having. So we have the first row and the second row. Now we need one more row. So another div. The class is row, margin Y4. In this only one column will be there, class name as column, and we have a button say calculate. Calculate, we have class BTN primary, and here we have text end. That means the right side alignment will be there. So we have a calculate button. This is a simple design. So that is the design of the presentation, some BG secondary. Okay, so, and if it is secondary, this is BG light, not here. We'll use BG light. Okay. Then here we are having, so here we are having another div. So here we will display the total amount. That means heading 2. Here we want to show the result actually. Later we will show the result of that. So here we will give class text white. Okay. That's just changed it. Okay, fine. Now what we need to do here, below we want to display the summary, how much they need to pay. I need to display the summary. How you will do that? So the summary, how much they need to pay, we need to display below. Means when calculate clicks, it should show. First point is, when I slide this, then it should show the number here. How much amount they need, the number should come here. So in the text box, ampersand hash 8377 semicolon. Now you observe carefully, these sliders are not working. These sliders are not working. They are not working. I'm unable to move them because all are read only. So actually in your JavaScript, they directly work, they no problem. But here all is one-way binding. That means it's not working. Now let's see how to manage that. First, what happens here is, see, first important is we need to collect the values. So we have a constant. We need total amount, how much? So we have the option like principal. That is the P. In EMI, we have a principal P, right? We have set principal, set principal, okay, is equal to use state. What is the principal starting amount is? Actually, it is 1 lakh. That is the principal amount. That is 1 lakh is the starting one. Now we have another one, constant. What else? We need years. Years. What we will do? Set years. Set years is equal to what? Use state. Years starting with 1. Okay. Next, another one is interest rate. Rate. Set rate. Set rate is equal to use state. It should be starting with how much? 10.45. So we have principal, years, and interest rate. These are the options we need to define. Now we need to attach these to these sliders. To these sliders we need to attach. That means what is the value of this? Value of this comes from where? Principal. Okay. Value of this comes from what? Years. And value of this will come from rate. Value will come from there. We are attaching those values. They are not movable. Because to make them work movable, we need to write on change. Na? So we have to write function. What is it? On change. And remember here, same values must be in text boxes also. Right? What is the first text box value? Text value is principal. Second text box value is what? Years. Third text box value is what? Rate. The third text box value is rate. You see in the text boxes those values are there. But they are not changeable. We can't change them. Because it's not possible to change until or unless you write on change event. So what we have to do? We have to write here function. What is it? Handle principal change. Am I right? And on principal change, this we will write when user is sliding the slider. Then we will get the value E and we will set principal as what? E dot target dot what? Value. That is fine. Similarly, another one, function. What is it? Handle years, year change, year change, year change, and set years, E dot target dot value. One more we need. What is it? Handle rate change and collect the value. Set what? Rate, E dot target dot value. We are collecting all the data. Now what we need to do is we need to write them for the sliders. Na? This on change. Which one have to use? Handle principal change. Here on change. What? Handle years change. Year change. Here on change. What it has to do? It has to use rate change. Handle rate change. Handle rate change. This all should happen. Now you see here what we are doing is in this we are refreshing now. I move this slider, it will change. We are changing the years. It is going to change the interest rate and show. Otherwise they are not changeable. They are not changeable. When you are sliding, those values will come and display there. And these values we need to collect and calculate on calculate click. On calculate click, collect these values, put in the formula, find the result and show the result. So we need calculate click logic na. On calculate click, where we will do is this result we will show in the last row only. Yeah? So in the div row margin y4, here we will put a div. This is margin y4 and I will give as what row. Here also I will put a class as column 1. Here in the heading or somewhere we will put a message. I kept a paragraph. Here we will display the summary. That means how much amount you need to pay. Result we will keep here. The result we are going to show there. Result we are going to display there. Okay, so result we will do later. So we need to write the result now. Displaying we will do later. Class as what? Text center. Okay, see what we are doing now here. We have to write a event function. What is the function? Handle. Handle what? Calculate click. Understood? On calculate click, we need to implement this formula. EMI formula we need to implement. And what is the EMI formula? I copied that formula. Na? Let's copy the formula. So this is EMI formula. Just copy this formula. Yeah. And let's put this. This is the this is the EMI formula we have. EMI formula is this. And we need to calculate. Actually, how do we calculate? That is the EMI formula. JavaScript conversion we have to do, right? Let's see how do we do that. First, we will declare a variable P. P contains, according to this formula, P, right? Yeah, P contains principal amount, how much money they have taken. That means P equal to what? Principal. That's fine. Okay, next what? R. R, we declare a variable R. R is what? Interest rate. Interest rate is stored in rate, na? But rate is in percent. And you know, in mathematical, directly percent cannot be used. We have to convert the percent into number. How do you convert the percent into number? Rate by 12, rate by 12 by 100. Because interest rate per year means by 12 by 100. That is the interest rate. It will be converted into number. Suppose 5% per year. How you will calculate? 5 by 12 by 100. That is the calculation we have to do. Because you cannot use percent. Percent must be converted into a number. And to convert the number per year, it is this. So by 12 by 100. Okay. Next what? Next what? PR is there. Another one is there in the formula N. N means number of periods. Means how many months. EMI should be calculated for every month. Actually, in our slider, we have years. That means what we have to do? Convert years into months. How? How to convert years into months? Multiplied by 12 now, right? That means what will happen? It will convert into months. 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, it will convert into months. EMI should be calculated for month. Okay. After that, next we are having var EMI. What is the formula now? First, according to the formula P, okay, into After that we have into. Into in JavaScript is asterisk na? Multiplication is asterisk. Okay, after that R. R is the rate. After that into. Into means again asterisk. Asterisk with what? You see in the parenthesis. In the parenthesis, that is 1 plus R to the power of N. How you will write in JavaScript? Math.pow. In JavaScript, you have a power function. And what is it? 1 plus R. Raise it to the power of what? N. That's how we write. Understood? Right? After that, what is there? Divided by. Divided by is slash na? Slash is for division. After division, again, what is it? Math dot what? Pow. Math dot pow. How much? 1 plus R to the power of what? N minus 1. That's what it has to do. First, it should calculate this. It should calculate this and then to the power of then minus 1. This is how a mathematical or any formula of business is converted into your JavaScript. For that, first you should have a proper idea on JavaScript operators and JavaScript mathematical functions. If it is in your Java.NET, there some operators are all same everywhere. Only functions will be changing. Some mathematical function. Almost all languages mathematical functions also same. You have power, you have square root, you have math functions almost everywhere same. Okay, now this EMI should be displayed. EMI should be displayed. So what we will do is, we will create a constant EMI, set what? EMI is equal to use state. It is initially 0. There is no EMI defined. Now what we will do? This we will set into it. What is it? Set EMI as what? EMI. So that we can access, because these variables you cannot access and use in presentation. Already I told you variables are immutable now. You can use them inside the logic, right? Okay, now on calculate click EMI comes. This EMI we need to display. We need to display. So here on calculate click, so on click, what should happen? On click, calculate click, handle what? Calculate click. And where to display that? So here we need to display. The EMI value we need to display. So what I am showing here is, so your, what is it? EMI, your monthly installment, your monthly EMI is, we will put a span. In this we will put a binding expression. What is it? EMI. So EMI is that, we will print that. This is the EMI, lowercase. That's also matters. We have to print that EMI. Your monthly EMI is this much. We will do one thing. We will keep it as math dot what? Round to the nearest number. And we will convert that. After that, what we will do? To local string and en-in. We know how to put a currency symbol, na? Style is currency and currency is what? INR. Okay, then for, I will give the word like for next how many months? For the next how many? So we have years, years into 12, years into 12 months. Okay, for next how many months? It should display that. This is all the EMI we are giving. Actually, for next 12 months, I will keep outside the span, because only that EMI amount in span I want to display font weight bold. So text as primary. Some color I want to show. And font size also as suppose 4. Okay, see now what happens here. As of now it is empty. Later through our logic we can even hide it. I already showed you now. On the click we can show, on load we can hide that area. As of now I am sliding the amount they need, how many years they have, and what is the interest rate, and calculate should get that and show. For next 48 months how much, it should get that result and display. This usually done by using our JavaScript formulas and all. Right here what React is doing, nothing. React is doing nothing. Only in React event binding changed. Instead of on change we return synthetic on change. That is only the difference. And collecting the value, displaying the value becomes little easy, because in JavaScript everything we have to do by using what? Document get element by ID. We have to refer element by ID access. Now here it is simple. You collect the values from those elements and we can display them. I hope you are clear. And the main concept is converting the formulas. Any mathematical business formulas we need to convert into JavaScript understandable. For that you should know JavaScript operators very well. How to convert these mathematical into JavaScript. Right? This is an example of another category. This is another example. This is example of what? EMI calculator. EMI calculator. This is, I am giving EMI calculator dot what? JSX. And in this, what are the main events we have used? The main events are on change, on change. Here, lot of more you can implement. I given only up to one level. Lot of more you can implement. Like what? As of now, you see here, user cannot type years. It will just show the years. If I want that also to work, here you see I click in the years text box. I am trying to type 2 years. It's not working. It should also work. Then what you have to do? You have to write on change of text box. Then collect the value and store in set years. Then automatically when you are changing text box, slider also will change. Slider also will be moving whenever you are moving, changing the value in the text. As of now, I implemented only for slider, right? You can implement anywhere. You can define. This is one basic example of how do we handle the events. So these events are button, 4 events you learned. Mouse events, keyboard events, button events. Another one is what? Element state event. Element state events we have on change, on focus, and on blur. On blur. These are element state events. Actually, now we have another important small concept is, which already you know, we have clipboard events. In JavaScript, what are clipboard events? On cut, on copy, on paste. These are called clipboard events. On cut, copy, paste are called clipboard events. Because what is the meaning of cut? In software programming, in software technologies, what is cut means? Cut means cut. Then cut means it removes the selected information and puts it on clipboard. Clipboard is your computer's temporary memory. anything that you cut or copy, it is kept in a place called clipboard. You can individually manage your clipboard also. In your computers, you will have clipboard. Clipboard you can search. You will see clipboard settings. Clipboard settings. Do you know these days very advanced clipboards are there? Like suppose you are using PC, mobile. In mobile, what you have done is you copied some message. You can paste it in your PC. In PC, you copied some message. You can paste it in mobile. Across devices, copy pasting also allowed. These days, they have enabled that facility. That means you can copy in your computer, PC, and you can paste in your mobile. Right? So, you see clipboard settings are there. In your computer, you will have clipboard. In clipboard settings, you can see synchronize across your devices. That means you can paste text from your PC to supported devices. Actually, clipboard is the temporary memory of your computer. Whatever you cut or copy, it is here. Actually, suppose some important paragraph you copied, and after copying you pasted somewhere, used it. After that you went away. You don't turn off your computer, just leave it and go. Somebody comes on your PC, sits on your PC, he opens some notepad or something and paste. Previously what you copied, it will paste. That means that person can see what you have copied. How do you clean up that? From here we can clean up. We can come to clipboard, and in the clipboard you see clipboard history is there. You can clean up all the clipboard history. That means whatever cut copy happens, it will be removed. Actually, clipboard means the temporary memory of your PC. Now, what is the point is, clipboard events are this: cut, copy, paste. In real-time websites, what you see with cut, copy? Do you know one of the main problem when you are using mobiles and devices, they give a phone number. You need to copy the phone number. Then you select copy. You think that it is copied. You thought that it is copied, and you go somewhere and try to paste. It is not pasting. Have you faced that problem? That means we can give a confirmation. These mobiles and all these days, they give a confirmation. If you copy, they put a pop-up saying that copied. Am I right? Not only that, you see, suppose passwords, account numbers you are typing. When you in bank applications, they ask enter account number. They ask re-enter account number. Do you know there you cannot paste? You have to type again. The text box is not allowed to paste. How you will do that? How to design a text box that will not allow to paste but will allow to type? By using these events. Just now we learned previously how to disable events. How to disable events by using what? Return false. If you return false, it will not allow to paste. It will not allow to paste. That means we can return false. We can return false. Actually, these things in your JavaScript, what you do is directly you write. Actually, in JavaScript, directly you can write them. Here, what we have to do? We have to use document events. For example, you see, suppose this is your HTML JavaScript. We have two text boxes, suppose. Account number. And suppose this is a text box. Input type is what? Text. And we have another, so verify account number. Account. Here we have another text box. Input type is text. Now actually what happens is in the first text box, I entered some account number. I copied this number, copy control C anything, and came here paste. It's working. It should not allow. It should not allow to paste inside the text box. Generally in JavaScript, what we do? Simple. In JavaScript, in the text box, on paste, we return false. Return false. In JavaScript, you just do this. On paste, return false. Then what will happen here? I entered some number. I entered some number. Okay. I copied this number. Copy. I am clicking inside and right click and paste here. It's not working. It's not allowed to paste here. Now I will paste above. Right click and paste above. It's okay. You can paste there. But here you cannot paste. It's not allowed. How to disable any functionality? Just by using return false. You write a function. That function should return false. Then automatically that event is blocked. It will not allow that event to happen. So the same thing we have to implement here. So what you have to write? We have to write the actions on cut, on copy, and on paste. So actually clipboard is temporary memory of your PC. Any the content that you copy or cut is kept on clipboard. So you can disable event, clipboard event. So with the return false, with a function that return false. That is the logic you need to implement. Already I showed you on context menu now. Same you try for this. I am not showing example. I already showed you in the class. So this we will give. This example you try. Huh? So example you try for that. Just what you do. Two text boxes. In one text box on paste, you have to return false. Try that. Try those options here. Okay. Now in the next session, we will discuss about other events. We have major events now coming. Another major event is timer events. These are very important. In interviews also, even at experience level, lot of questions are asked related to these timer events. And what are these timer events in React? Very important. So these timer events with some new hooks you will learn. That we will see in the next session. Okay. And one more point is tomorrow you are already following Google Classroom now. We are going to clean up it. Completely delete everybody from the Google Classroom. We will add only the people who are attending class. Rest of waste we will remove. Right? Rest of waste people we will remove. We will add only the people who are regularly coming to class. Offline or online. Any extra deleted. Right? We will add you all with a new code. Classroom will be same. We will change the code and share with only the people who are attending the class. Rest of them we will remove. Okay, that we'll do in next session. Tomorrow we'll do that. Huh? Okay, then tomorrow we'll continue. Right? Yeah. Yes,
Sir,
Tejaswini. Yes.
yes. Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir,
Mon-
yesterday I tried running those commands which you
Ah,
gave in the evening session.
hmm.
For those two commands, it is showing errors, sir. And after that, I tried that npx create react app and the name. It is totally showing errors.
Then it is completely on your PC issues are there. I will give our hardware people, they will check what is issue in your PC, okay? You please contact our hardware people. I will
Okay.
share the number to you.
Okay, sir. Sure.
You WhatsApp them, so they will
Sure,
check
sir.
some permission issues, any issues are there on your PC. Any
Sure, sir. Sure.
antivirus is running in your PC, you have to disable it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Admin permissions also you have to check, okay?
Okay, sir.
I will share our hardware people, you check with them once. Huh?
Yes, yes. Sure, sir.
Yeah.
I will check.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.